Hi there, welcome back. We are on shelf 7, week 2. The excitement is palpable. This will be the end of the traditional Breyers for a while, so let's get started. First, we're going to start with an interesting Sierra Blanco. This is on the Smart Chicalina mold in a Gruyere Pinto dappled. I actually won this horse, so he was originally produced as a regular run in matte. I was at Breyerwest a very long time ago. This was back in the days when it was outdoors at the Sacramento Expo Center, and they had a raffle, and I won him. And when I asked how many were made, they said, oh, just a few, a handful. And so goodness knows how many there actually are, but he is a very scarce prize model, so he's pretty fun. Then we have the Spirit mold, and this horse, he's gorgeous. I wish they would put this on a more realistic model. This horse is called El Corazon. He is a Breyerfest raffle model. I think this is the one that Mom won for me. Thanks, Mom. He is in an absolutely stunning metallic Gruyere Pinto. They absolutely knocked this out of the ballpark with shading. He's got a dorsal stripe. He's got the mapping. He's got the Pinto markings. He is drop dead gorgeous, just unfortunately not the best conformed horse on the planet. But since he's a raffle model, they only made 25, 26 of them, so he's pretty scarce. And he is gorgeous on the shelf, so... these two are just the thoroughbred mare and foal. There is no just, right? They're all awesome model horses, but they're from my carpet herd. They were some of my favorites when I was a kid playing with them. So they're still here on the shelf, enjoying life. Then we move on to, I think this is Gigi, Valentine, and Heartbreaker. They were regular runs 2 or 3 years ago. However, they made a few of them in glossy. I think they made, I want to say the story was 1 of every 6 sets was in glossy. And so I was fortunate enough at my local tack store to find a set of glossies. I did notice that the mattes were significantly different in shading. They were much redder and had a lot more shading. So whether it was actually the paint job or just the glossiness, they are quite different. And I, for a while, had a set of matte and a set of gloss because they were so different. But the matte set eventually found their way out and the glossy set stayed because I'm a glossaholic. Next, we have a special run set from Breyerfest. I don't remember their name. It was within the last year or two. I want to say it's Mamacita, something along those lines. But it's a mare and foal set, again sculpted by Bridget, whose name I cannot pronounce. And she is just an amazing sculptor. So I love buckskins and bays and nicely shaded and dappled horses. So these guys hit all of my personal high points, although she is way too long. I need to put her on the top shelf because she is too long for this shelf. Let me rearrange a little bit so that I can let you see the amazement of the Roland Cheney Mesteno Kiger Mustangs. This series is a set of Kiger Mustangs. So this is Mesteno. He was the original horse in this herd, and it was supposed to be an attempt at an artist's series. These guys are from the original release, so they have really nice shadings and they're really good color-wise. They were made for quite a few years and the color and quality kind of dropped off a little bit. I don't remember all of them anymore, but it's like Mesteno and his mom and his brother Rojo and son. It's one of those family things. And what I find very interesting is in the back, these two fighting horses is the first of Breyer's efforts at redoing the same mold. So these two horses are both the exact same mold, but while they were on the cooling boards after they were brought out of the actual molding process and they're still warm, the mold maker or the demolders would take and move their legs, and the little pegs in the mold board were different. So when you look at them, one horse is standing on his tippy toes, the other one's got both feet flat. If you compare them, both of the legs, these two are quite separate. These two are kind of together. It was Breyer's first effort at getting two different horses out of the same mold, or changing up the mold a little bit. I think it's Mesteno, and this would be Mesteno, and I think this would be Sombra. So it's a very cool series. They are very artistic. The artwork that goes with them is just amazing. They all have quite a bit of detailing with the primitive marks on their legs and the shading and the dorsal stripes. I think it's a very cool series. You don't see them a lot. You'll see them occasionally in like Kmart sets and stuff, or Walmart sets, but I think the original series itself is very interesting, particularly for the story behind it and the artist work behind it. So as you can probably see, we're going to be heading into some of the Hagen-Renaker minis, so we'll call it the end for this week. Thank you, and join me again next week. There's more to see.